Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be creating a look. It's kind of like love sick. Like, this is pretty much for everybody who's heartbroken this Valentine's Day. I'm not one of them people, but I'm just saying. This is just pretty much a look for them. I really hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Valentine's Day. And if you want to see how I got this look, keep on watching. So one thing I like to always start when I do my makeup is with this Olay Active Hydrating Face Lotion. Can't really see it. Face lotion. I really like it just because I have really dry skin, and this moisturizes really well, and it looks great underneath makeup, and it doesn't like affect the makeup at all. And it's just one of the products that I've found that works the best, and it's pretty inexpensive, so that's always a plus. So for Christmas I got a whole bunch of new makeup, and two of the things that I got were the Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation and then the BH Cosmetics foundation. Now these two are two of my favorite foundations, and I just got them. I've been testing them out and I love them so much. And like I said, I have dry skin, and this one dries matte, but it still looks really good on my skin. It doesn't look too drying, and this one's more of a dewy finish, and I still really like it. I think today I'm going to use the Naked one. Normally I use drugstore just because, you know, I want it to be more affordable for everybody, but I think today we're going to splurge and go for the Urban Decay. But before I do that, I do want to spray my face with this e.l.f. Hydrating Primer Mist. I've used it for a little bit now, ever since Christmas pretty much. I've used it, and it just gives this face a nice dewy look to it, especially because I'm about to go in with a dry foundation. It'll kind of counteract that. So just a couple spritz. The mist is pretty strong. Whew. And then even though you're not necessarily supposed to do this, I go in with my sponge that's damp, and I kind of spread it around. And it'll absorb some of the product, but it'll still keep it nice and sparse. And then one thing I do want to mention is this e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is really good, especially if you have big pores. It fills them in really nicely, or like fine lines or things like that. This helps a lot, and I sometimes get big pores around my nose, like they'll like randomly come in and decide to show themselves, so I use this on those days. I'm just going to shake up the Naked foundation, give her a good little shake, and then spritz some on the back of my hand. And now taking a paddle brush, I'm going to pick up that foundation and just spread it around. It's going to look like I'm putting on a mask, but once blended out, it looks good. Now this foundation is pretty full coverage. I do have areas that I like to go back over and just kind of double cover. Just like areas like I have a little bit of acne on my cheeks and stuff, and just so I can have a smooth, flawless base, I like to kind of coat those areas. It looks like I'm putting on a face mask. Anyway, and then to save product, I wipe off what was on the brush with the sponge, and now I'm going in and blending that in. So like I said before, I like to go over areas that I think need more coverage, so I'm going to go on my chin, this little area on my cheek, same spot on the other cheek, and I think that's just about it. Now I don't want it completely covered, just because I do like my skin to look a little more natural. And don't forget when blending to bring it down to your neck, so you don't have like if you look up or something, you don't have this line of foundation that does not blend with your neck. You don't have to take it all the way down, but just enough so it goes over that jawline. Now for concealer, I didn't really get any new concealers, but I am going to use my CoverGirl True Blend, which I don't know if I've used on my channel. I know it's not new, but I don't know if I've used it on this channel, but I don't think I have, so it kind of is new, I guess. But anyway, so I'm just going to go in, and I like to put my concealer right under my eye and bring it down the sides just a little bit on the Cupid's bow, on your chin, and I kind of cover my nose just because my nose breaks up the foundation a lot, and I don't want it to do that. So when I put concealer on it, it makes it last longer, because concealer is more like heavy duty, if that makes any sense. And then on my eyelids as like an eyeshadow primer. Now I'm going to blend it out. So start with the chin, and I kind of start from the bottom and work my way up in a way. I start with the places that don't need the most coverage, and then do the places that need the most coverage last, because that'll allow the concealer to dry more and then increase its coverage. So now I'm going to do the Cupid's bow. And go on my nose. I'm holding a mirror, so that's why I'm like looking down. I have to set my eyes before they start creasing, because my eyes crease really quickly. So I'm just picking it up with a beauty blender, and the reason I'm using a beauty blender instead of applying it with a brush is because when applying with a brush, it'll kind of cake on the powder more, and it can make it look really, really cakey, and it can also, especially if you have dry skin like me, make it look dry. Okay, now that I'm done setting, I can show you the product. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Setting Powder in the shade 05. So first I'm going in with a bronzer, and this one's from Makeup Revolution, and it's their little donut collection. And this one is the cinnamon sugar one, and I'm just gonna pick that up on an angled brush, tap off the excess, and then just go in my cheekbones. Now go higher than your normal cheekbones so it can be more lifted. Now going back in with that beauty blender, I'm gonna go in and pick up some of the product. For one, further blending it, and then for two, kind of, I don't wanna say lightening it, because you're not lightening it, you're just not putting on as much product. It's blending it out and moving it around. Now, since the look that I'm going for is like a Love Sick look, I'm gonna use this Coastal Scents blush palette. I'm gonna use this Coastal Scents blush palette. I'm gonna use this bright pink and kind of mix it in with this more muted pink. And I'm gonna put that on my cheeks. Because you know when you're sick, you get nice and rosy. Either that or you lose color completely, but we're not doing that one. So I'm gonna pick up that blush, and for one, apply it. I'm gonna pick up that blush and apply it on the apples of my cheeks. So just smile and apply it. It's okay if you go ham with this. This isn't supposed to be like a very natural look. Just go in on the apples and kind of swipe it out to blend it out. Putting on a lot. And then on your nose too, like you've been rubbing your nose a lot. Look a little crazy. And then I'm also going to take it up to the temples, just so it really blends the whole look together. I feel like a gingerbread man. Now using the Kat Von D Amethyst highlighting palette, I'm going to dip into the pink shade just because it reflects pink, and that'll look good with this little blush look we got going on here. And using a paddle brush to put it on, I'm just going to go right on the top of my cheekbone. Same thing for the other side, right on top of the cheekbone. And then on the Cupid's bow. And then using my finger, I'm going to apply it on the bridge of the nose. And then a little boop on the tip. I'm going to take it and put it on my brow bone and blend up. And it just makes your skin look nice and glowy. And same thing on the other side. I kind of put a highlighter just about everywhere. Now for eyebrows. Now if you were here for any video at all before this, you know that I use the Ardell Brow Pomade, and it is my favorite brow product. And I've been using this for like 3 or 4 years, probably 3, I think 3. I've been using this for like 3 years, and I have not changed up on it at all. But today, since we're trying new products and stuff, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Tattoo Studio Brow Pomade in the shade Medium Brown. I haven't used this. It looks really creamy compared to the Ardell one. And I like the fact that the Ardell one is drier, because I feel like I have more control, to where if it's creamier, I feel like I'm just slipping around and stuff, but we're going to try it. So I'm going to take some out of the pot and then swipe it on the lid to flatten the brush out and not get as much product on it. See how the brush is now flat and there's some on the lid. This makes me nervous. I never experiment with my brows. Like once I found something that worked, since brows are a very important step for me, once I found something that worked, I never tried anything else. So this is kind of scary. And I'm just gonna go in. We're just gonna do it. So starting, if you can look at your nose, you can see that there's like this little bridge line. And if you follow that line, if you're like me and you have to create your brows, if you follow that line, they end up looking a lot better. So I'm going to follow that bridge line. I'm sorry, I can't talk during this step. And then just trace where you want your brow. I should have just stuck with my go-to. Look, this just is not, this is so weird. I don't like it. Oh, no, no, no. I do not like this. Fade it out on the inside. Oh, it's hot. Get nervous. I'm gonna go ahead and complete the other side off camera, and then I'll come back and show you how I correct it. I'm now gonna take the Milani concealer in the shade 100, and I'm gonna apply that on the back of my hand. Just get it all nice little clump. And using a flat packing brush, I'm gonna pick that up and then look at the brows and conceal what is wrong. So like if there's a line out of place or something, I'm gonna cover it up with this concealer. And you can be a little messy. You wanna be as neat as you can, but you can be the tiniest bit messy because of course you can always go back in with the brow pomade and go over it. So looking at my brows, for one, I noticed that this brow comes down too quickly, whereas the other brow, it kind of flares out. Another piece of advice, don't do 2 corrections at once. Correct one thing and go back to the mirror, because if you overcorrect and you're not correcting the right places, then you're just going to be back to square one. I'm now going in with the James Charles X Morphe palette. Now this is a step that has not changed for me. And I'm going to pick up the shade T, which is this brown shade right here. And I'm going to use that on a paintbrush. And the reason I'm using a paintbrush, an angled paintbrush, is because makeup brushes that are angled like this are never thin enough. And I want it really thin because this is how I'm going to draw my hairs on. So I'm picking up that color. And then first start at the tail and draw on your lines. And the reason you start at the tail is because when you first put on the lines, they're going to be really, really dark. And you don't want that darkness at the front of your brow. And then as you get towards the front of the brow, you're going to want your lines to start getting more vertical. And then also, as you go closer and closer in, a little more spread out. So at the end of it, it looks more feathered out in the front. And in the tail, it looks more put together and clumped together. So for eyeshadow, I'm going to be using the Morphe 39S palette. So it has a lot of these nice, vibrant, but still warm pinks. So on a fluffy brush, I'm going to be dipping into the shade Very Good, tapping off the excess, and just packing that on the eye. And then also kind of bringing it into the nose bridge like that. And not being afraid to mix it out and really bring it out and kind of mix it in that blush. Same thing on the other eye. Now on a more packed brush, I'm going to dip into the shade Why Not, such a cute name, and pack it all over the lid. Now going back into the Kat Von D Amethyst palette, I'm going to go back into the pink shade and just pick that up on a flat paddle brush and apply that on my inner corner. Now going with the NYX Matte Black Liner, and I'm not doing a wing or anything, I just am going to apply it on the lid. This will help blend in the false lashes later. And I also, for like a cat eye effect, like to bring in my eyeliner to the inner corner and make like a point on the inside. My eyes run, so I don't wear mascara on my bottom lashes because the water will run down the lash and will put black dots all on my cheeks, so I just keep it for the top lash. I like this brush that it has because it's like folded like that, so you can really fit in the crease of your eyes. And try and get as close to the root as you can. Now this part I'm a little scared for. I'm about to draw some tears coming out of my eyes. And this is particularly challenging because tears are clear. So it's not like I can draw something and just add some shadows and it looks good. You really have to manipulate this. So using a gray shadow and tapping off a lot on the back of my hand because I don't want that to be an opaque color. I'm going to sketch out the left side of the tear, only the left side. So I put it like on the right side too. It'll look too 3D and tears don't really come out like that. The shadow's only on one side. First, just applying it to where it comes out and follows that line and then comes down in a straight line, and then I'll bubble it out at the tip of the tear. So I went ahead and finished this tear just because if I was about to teach y'all how to do it, I had to make sure I knew how to do it. So I did this tear and I'm going to go ahead and do this tear in front of y'all. So once you lightly have that gray there, I'm going to use the NYX white liner. It has a really fine tip. And you're going to outline the top part of the left side of this tear. So just the top left part. Because you don't want too much highlights on that side because it's like the light's hitting it from this side and this side is where the shadow is. And then now, starting at the top of the right side, sorry I'm mumbling, it's hard to do while you're talking. You're going to follow the whole line of that side of the tear. And go around that curve, but don't bring it up all the way. And then little bubble line right there. And now, there's a lot of steps to this. Back into the gray. Once again, small brush. And then this is how you make this side become a side. You're going to outline the tear with the dark gray, and this time you can get a little darker. And this is going to create the side of it. Make like an edge. Now to make this look a little more dramatic and really tell the story, I have these heart little glitter things. There's pink ones and red ones. And I'm going to put them coming out of my eye and kind of coming up like that. By the way, I find and get all of my glitters at craft stores. Like, I'm pretty sure I got these at No, I got them at Target in that little dollar section they have when you first walk in. Because any glitters you can use around your face, but I don't recommend using craft glitters like on your eye just because not all of them are eye safe and they can be kind of toxic. Shouldn't say kind of, they can be toxic. I take the risk anyway and I use the glitters just because I do. It's not safe. Do not recommend it. I do it. Don't you do it. But first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this black strip lash adhesive from, I don't even know who it's from Kiss. I'm going to put dots where I want these hearts. And it's a good thing that it's black because it helps you see it. Now, I would not recommend using black if you're a first-time lash applier because then you can get black everywhere. So to do this, I'm just going to do one right here. Kind of make the glue kind of gloop on. Here's another cheat way. Lick the bottom of a plastic thing, and then you can pick it up. And just apply it where that black line was. I went ahead and finished this side. Now I'm going to go and do this side off camera. Now for lips, I think I'm going to go a little dark and kind of do, oh yeah, we need dark. So this is the Hola Neon Velvet Liquid Lipstick in the shade FOMO. I don't even know what I'm talking about. And I'm going to just put this lipstick on. Now I overline my lips. So when I put the bottom one on, you just go from the corners and swipe it down. Now your lips will kind of pull it down and just let it pull. Now we're going to put on lashes. I like big lashes, that's why I look like a clown right now. So that is it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below letting me know anything you want to say, any questions you have, or suggesting anything. I would love to hear from you guys. I guess that's really all I have left to say. If you guys recreate this look or any of my other looks, please tag me in them. I would love to see what you guys come up with. But other than that, I don't really have anything else to say, so I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and see you next time. Okay, here we go. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Nope.